Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we're going to talk about day one of the trading post, which has now come around, and we will have 5 days of this trading post, which will refresh every day. And I do hope to get a video out early on in the day with the refresh. So the first item available is an Obsidian Egg, and this is for 450 sigils. Now, if you are in desperate need of an Obsidian Egg and you are not able to breed it, this is a fairly decent value considering the cost that it would take in rubies to grind out egg tokens from the breeding hut and from the balloon and refreshing the missions. Now, if you don't desperately need the Obsidian Eggs and you don't see yourself using it in the future, then it's kind of a waste of sigils. You're likely going to find a better use for them. The other scenario is that if you simply just purchase the eggs with sigils, then you're not going to get breeding points from spending tokens on the eggs to breed them. Now, if you are still a progressing player, you don't really want to be spending eggs to breed backwards to get, lower tier eggs for research if you don't have to, or even for breeding huts. But if you messed up somewhere along the line and you really need more of these for your breeding hut to level it up, for your builder hut to level it up, then this is a very quick and easy way to do it without having to spend your egg tokens, which you really want to use to progress further down the breeding tiers. Now, if you're an endgame player and you need different ways to spend your egg tokens in order to get breeding points, then you also don't want to spend on this because you'd rather just get points for the breeding event. But again, this is a decent value if you have the sigils and you really need the eggs. And that same goes for the emerald eggs. It's only 350 for that one, and you can buy up to 10 of each of those. Now, the next thing we'll talk about is the inner fires. Now, they're kind of expensive. The dragon attack, there's a ton of them, but most players don't run out of those, and even if you do, I wouldn't really want to spend sigils on them. But if you really needed inner fires, you could grab this deal. It's just not really a great deal. And did I already purchase one? No. Oh, I think I accidentally purchased one because it lagged and I tapped in the center, and that's fantastic. Cool. So I bought something that was not worth buying. So same story for the energy packs. It's not that good of a deal, so I would avoid it unless you were absolutely desperate. So that brings us to the final one to talk about, which is actually a good deal, because at end game, the egg tokens for progression in breeding, it takes about 200 egg tokens to equal the mystic fragments. And the mystic fragments do give more breeding points, so that is something to consider, that you'll get more points for breeding from your mystic fragments. But if you're not at end game, then your mystic fragments, you're kind of wasting them because you're spending them on discounted breeding, which means instead of having a value of 200 egg tokens per mystic fragment, you're going to have a value of maybe even just 100 egg tokens per mystic fragment. And so you want to use your mystic fragments at end game, ideally. And if you're not there yet, this is a fantastic way to convert it into egg tokens, because you're going to end up with more value. Because if you spend 5 mystic fragments on an emerald tier dragon, then the value you get out of that is only a couple hundred or a few hundred egg tokens. But if you instead convert these 5 mystic fragments into 1,000 egg tokens, you're going to be able to breed more at lower tiers. And then at end game, you're going to be able to breed an equal amount. But egg tokens are more versatile. You can use them in various ways. And so mystic fragments are kind of a challenge to use in the game, especially because when you use mystic fragments, you're kind of skipping the breeding of other lower tier eggs that are involved in that breeding scenario. So if you use your mystic fragments in the wrong situation, you're going to fall short on builder hut eggs and research eggs. So actually spending mystic fragments comes at a significant cost. And you do get some extra breeding points, like we said, but that is not worth the cost that it comes with. So this is actually a good deal for any player, but an amazing deal for players at lower tiers that still need to breed upwards. So I'm going to buy all of these because I would love to exchange these for more egg tokens, because in my situation right now, breeding is where I get held back. That's where my progression is limited on how many egg tokens I can spend. And I could spend, I have tons of mystic fragments, but like I said, if I spend all the mystic fragments, I won't have builder hut eggs, and then it will really screw up my my fortification progression. So I definitely recommend everybody grabbing this deal, but the rest are, the other eggs are situational, and then the other two are kind of not ideal offers. So I do hope that this video is helpful, and I look forward to sharing more trading post videos for each of the other days. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck, and I do hope to see you in the next video.